A major report just dropped from Brian Windhorst that reveals a Kevin Durant trade is incoming in the offseason. And of course, the Warriors heavily pursued KD leading into the trade deadline and nearly had a deal cross the finish line before it was cut down at the last minute. And the Warriors, of course, pivoted to Jimmy Butler. But now with these new reports that just dropped, there are a lot of rumors, there's a lot of chatter amongst Golden State Warriors fans about a trade once again, the pursuit of KD once again picking up for the Golden State Warriors happening this offseason. And I'm going to break down why I don't believe this makes any sense for Golden State, why some people are speculating this could happen once again, but most importantly, how this would be disastrous for Golden State, given all the reports we've heard about the return packages and how much the Warriors would have to give up, why this would be disastrous for the franchise. So lots of stuff to break down in this video, but guys, you guys have been crushing it, hitting the subscribe button. We are so close to another milestone for the channel at 9,000 subscribers, so make sure if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest Golden State Warriors news, if you've been tuning into the videos and you notice you haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, hit that sub button down below. It's free. It takes a second. Hit that button. But let's dive into the madness, because we had a report just dropped from Brian Windhorst that revealed Kevin Durant is probably going to get traded this summer. He knows it, the Suns know it, and the rest of the NBA knows it. So this essentially dropped from Brian Windhorst. We had this report drop from NBA insiders predicting Kevin Durant will demand a trade away from the Phoenix Suns this summer, as he was really frustrated about being included in trade talks at the trade deadline. And then KD's frustrations showing through, not just the front office, not public, but Kevin Durant also called out Ramona Shelburne for, essentially doing some reporting. Ramona Shelburne's a pretty trustworthy reporter, but she discussed how the toxic the Suns locker room ended up becoming after the trade deadline, and Kevin Durant ended up calling her out based on that report. So there is a lot of turmoil happening now with the Phoenix Suns, with this team, and all signs indicate to another blockbuster trade happening this offseason, and one that the Golden State Warriors tried to pursue ahead of this year's deadline. And as I mentioned at the beginning, there was a deal that was essentially accepted by all three teams that would have sent the Warriors proposed a trade sending Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, first round picks, second round picks, and pick swaps to the Phoenix Suns for Kevin Durant, as the deal ended up falling through because Kevin Durant showed zero interest in returning to the Golden State Warriors, and this ended up dropping from Shams Charania. So now that things are falling apart with the Phoenix Suns, frustrations boiling over, there are a lot of people giving indications that the Suns are going to care less about Kevin Durant's wishes, the same way that they did at the head of the trade deadline. Okay, KD doesn't want to go to the Warriors. We'll shut down those trade talks. We'll do this. And I know there's been lots of debates, but a misconception about this is that Kevin Durant does not have a no trade clause. If he burns his bridges with the Phoenix Suns, they're going to have no regrets, no frustration about trading into a team that he has zero interest in going to. So essentially, that means if the Warriors are still interested, the way they were just a week ago in trading for KD, this deal could once again actually get completed out there in the offseason. Now, the package would look different. Jonathan Kuminga isn't expiring, so he's a piece that would get re-signed, a weird sign and trade type of package, type of deal with the Phoenix Suns. But that's neither here nor there in terms of package. But I'm breaking down why all of these rumors that are starting to escalate right now don't make sense for the Golden State Warriors. And I'll say this again, this is not because Kevin Durant is a bad basketball player. KD is a guy that's still, at age 36, is averaging 27 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 40% from the three-point line, 46% at corner threes. And frankly, with Jimmy Butler, with Steph Curry out here on this team, this could be a nasty sort of squad out here for Golden State. So I don't want to dismiss or say to people that think it would be smart to, bet the farm out there on Kevin Durant at age 37 that they are stupid, that they're dumb, or it's an objectively horrible move. But I personally think that this would be disastrous for the Golden State Warriors for a couple of reasons. Because firstly, again, we can take a look at the package that was offered, that was discussed out here at the deadline. We're talking Kuminga, and we're talking the entire future of the Golden State Warriors out there in one of these packages. And then we're talking multiple first, seconds, swaps, all that. And you're going to have to, compensate for Jimmy Butler not being in this package because he was a guy that the Suns desperately wanted. If this was the deal the Warriors were willing to give up for KD, that means this summer, 6 months later, the package is going to be somewhat similar. Now, you can flop out Jimmy Butler for probably like a Draymond Green or one of these guys. I think we're all sold on Jimmy Butler being that dude staying in Golden State for hopefully to close off his career if he ends up playing the level of production that he has been as of late. But This package is just way too much. So that's the first thing, because it completely mortgages the Golden State Warriors' future. I know it's all about winning now around Steph Curry and stuff, but taking a guy that is super old, that's not going to be around for a very long time, and has had injury issues himself, even if it does, improve your offense and things like that, you're giving up your entire future, and you're giving up players that are effective. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga would be a big loss for this Golden State Warriors team. I know he's about to get paid, and he's probably about to get overpaid, and some people are frustrated about that, but you lose a bunch of defense as well. Draymond Green would have to be a contract that's aggregated in one of these deals. It's just not something that I'm that interested in happening, and then when you build on top of the fact that he does not want to be in Golden State, I know that the teams, the organizations, he doesn't really have a say in terms of anything out there along that front, but the vibes are just so good now with the Golden State Warriors. Now, of course, things could change in terms of, Jimmy Butler. We've seen him have highs and lows with whatever organization he's with. Steph Curry, there's injuries that can happen, different stuff, but it just seems like a risk in terms that's not worth taking, given the amount of draft capital, given the amount of pieces you have to give up to acquire KD in one of these packages. And frankly, there's already some, I don't want to say shade, I don't want to say, subtle jabs out there, but there's been some things dropped from Steve Kerr himself regarding this whole situation. Basically, he said, I think it was obvious we needed a change, and I think this was the best possible move we could make, so I give Mike Dunleavy credit. So some people are reading into this as like a subliminal, like getting Jimmy Butler was better than getting Kevin Durant, and of course there's that animosity between the OG Golden State Warriors, KD, still kind of there in the background, subtly being brought up. It's all squashed apparently and things like that, but you're seeing all these types of things, and it obviously made clear by the fact that Kevin Durant does not want to be on the Golden State Warriors, that there's still something there. There's still something that's not. No, those wounds aren't completely healed, but I don't know. I think it just doesn't make any sense. I think the Jimmy Butler move, I think building around this Jimmy Steph type of core to finish out Steph Curry's kind of career arc is the right direction, the right move. Of course, I'm not saying don't make any moves, don't make any big types of deals, but trading all your draft assets for a 37-year-old, no matter how good he is very, very risky. Now, I've heard the other side of it, and the one thing that does concern me, I made a whole video on this a few days ago, is if they view KD this highly, and I know the Warriors were in a bit more of a desperate position before they acquired Jimmy Butler, to make one of these deals happen to finish out Steph Curry's career and all those types of things, but if they were in a position where they're willing to give all of these assets up, his trade value is just going to diminish by, by the month, for KD given his age. Maybe they'd be willing to risk it all once again, make that push, make their at the end. I said this is a delusional trade package that the Warriors are willing to give up for Kevin Durant. So it's I wouldn't be shocked if we hear these rumblings, if we hear these things pick back up in the coming weeks, especially with all the reports that we kind of dropped and illustrated at the beginning of this video. Do I want to see it happen? Probably not. But then again, if I see Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, KD out there on a basketball court, I probably end up changing my mind the way a lot of Warriors fans changed their mind once they saw Jimmy Butler actually wear some Warriors threads. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys are the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.